Hello and welcome. My name is Willow Westtree. I thought I would introduce myself on here with my story. I was born in the city with no access to horses at all. I spent all my time watching horse shows around Jorvik online and begged my mom for years to let me ride, to which she always said, absolutely not. I wasn't going to give up though. At the age of 11, I somehow convinced my mom to enroll me in a pony camp for the summer. I rode this young, sweet, spirited thoroughbred mare named Ariel. I absolutely fell in love with riding and bless my mom for trying to get me the correct gear. She tried her best for not knowing anything about horses. After doing pony camp every summer for 4 years, my mom let me take lessons. Nothing fancy. I went in every Tuesday at 3 p.m. and rode for half an hour. Once I started getting better, my mom eventually bumped it up to an hour. When I turned 16, my mom bought me a sweet halflinger mare who I named Strawberry. I couldn't have been more grateful for this pony. I learned so much and excelled so far in my riding career, being able to take her to clinics and lessons around Jorvik. I did eventually need to change barns as the one I was at stopped doing lessons and turned into a boarding facility. I moved to a small facility called Candy Rose Farms. They didn't have their own lesson horses, but they did have a small open stable outside the arena that held 6 horses, and luckily they had a spot for Strawberry. This was the barn I started jumping at, and man, could this pony throw herself over these bright colored poles. I absolutely fell in love with jumping. When I turned 18, my mom moved away and I decided to stay in Jorvik. I moved in with my aunt at what was Golden Leaf Stables, a huge barn with cross-country along the beach and trails all around. My aunt was struggling to make ends meet, so I decided that I would get certified to teach lessons and help out. She already had 4 horses that I could use, a Connemara named Prince, who really liked to jump, her Shire King, who was mainly just a trail horse, a very gentle and sweet thoroughbred mare named Princess, who my aunt had rescued from a kill pen. Princess became all the students' favorite horse. She was just the most genuine horse ever. Unfortunately, she did end up injuring herself, and the vet said she might not be able to jump, but she could still be ridden in the walk or trot if she heals correctly. Cleo is an off-the-track thoroughbred who I stole from my aunt to become my main competition horse. This horse was easily clearing 1.30 meters with ease, and I fell in love. She was the typical chestnut mare, very opinionated, but I knew she would take me far. I ended up renaming the stable Willow Creek Equine since my aunt wanted to get a different job and didn't want to manage it anymore. Now that I was the only trainer at my barn, I figured I should get a little better. I set off to find a good trainer for myself. That's when I found Molly Gash, an Olympic rider from Jorvik Stables, about an hour away. I had been watching her on TV since I was about 8 or 9. I had seen a lot of amazing riders at shows representing Jorvik Stables, so I knew this stable was going to do well for me. Molly ended up being able to work me in her schedule, and I got there slightly early for my first lesson, and you'll never guess who she was training. It was Ariel, the mare from pony camp. Though now she's not the youngest anymore, she's about middle-aged, 15, 16, but she was still as spirited as she was before. After Molly finished with Ariel, she had me and Cleo warm up over some poles so she could get a sense of who we were and how we worked as a pair. Once we were warmed up, Molly had us go over some jumps, and Molly absolutely loved Cleo. She said that she would love to work with her. We ended up making a deal that she could do a full lease on Cleo for the next year if I got free lessons twice a week, since it would cost about the same as the lease would. Suddenly I was down a star jumping horse before I could even compete with her. So now here we are today. I am down a competition horse, so I figured that if I don't have to pay for my own lessons, I can work on buying a new eventing horse. And since Princess is still out of work for the next few months, I put Strawberry into the lesson program so I wasn't overworking Prince and King. Now all 3 horses are doing 2 lessons a day. 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon until I end up buying a new lesson pony. At this rate, I should have enough shillings to buy a new lesson pony and a personal horse for myself in the next 2 weeks. Well, that's my story. Not a long one, but one nonetheless. I'm excited to document the rest of my journey and share it on this channel. I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Bye!